Stratford and West Ham, People Power Places Our Ideas meeting on this day. We welcome you all. We thank you all for taking the time to join this meeting. So what we'll do is I'm going to go through a few slides, but in between we may have councillors joining us, we have director joining us, we have other people joining us who may say a few words. So please bear with us. So this is the agenda, everybody, but welcome again, everybody. And we go through the housekeeping and why we are here. We need to speak a little slowly, everybody, because we have got a group here who want me to speak a little bit slowly because of the BSL requirements. And then we'll tell you why we are here. I'll introduce the councillors who are present in the meeting. We'll have corporate leadership team, working group members as well. And we may have a young person joining us as well from the Youth Advisory Board. Then we'll move on to discussing local priorities. And after that, it will be followed by discussing project ideas. So the meeting is going to be really, really exciting. We want all of you to share your ideas. We want you to help us with the priorities as well. And we'll wrap up with next steps and event feedback. Okay, first of all, housekeeping. So as you all know, this is a hybrid meeting. Attendees are joining online and you're here in person. There is no fire alarm planned. So if the fire alarm goes off, we'll need to vacate the building, everyone, and we'll guide you. The nearest exit is just behind you here. So we have got room team, facilitator, and our experts. Can everybody wave at us, please? My colleagues and working group members who are facilitating, and also the experts. Thank you. So you know who is on your table. Just introduce yourself. So this meeting will be recorded. So if you're online, can you please turn off your camera if you wish to? So also, we know who needs BSL in the room. Anna, is there somebody online who requires BSL? And can you see Arena clearly?
We can see Arena clearly.
Okay, that's fine. I think they can see us online. So we've got 2 BSL interpreters here. We have got Arena, we've got Tony. So thank you for that. So other guidelines are please listen to each other and be respectful. You don't have to agree because we all share different viewpoints. Share what comes to mind. Enjoy being part of shaping your community neighborhood. And lastly, we need your feedback at the end of this event. So please don't go without giving us feedback because it helps us improve future events. And we also want to know what you enjoyed today and what could be improved. Okay, next one, please. Okay, I think probably each and every one you have signed a photo consent form. Is there anybody who doesn't want their picture taken? Okay. There are 2 people in the room. Anybody else? Okay, we have got the young lady taking the pictures. If they're taking the pictures, please turn your face away or put your hand up so she becomes aware because there are quite a few of you in the room. Thank you. As you can see, we use the photograph or the film footage at newspaper articles, magazines, brochures, newsletters, and so on. So if you have not given permission, please make sure we can see you. Thank you. Okay. Are there any councillors here in person? Okay, not at the moment. Is there anybody online, please, Anna?
Yes, we've got.
Okay, we've got Councillor John Whitworth, West Ham Ward. Councillor, if you please say a few words.
Oh, good evening, everybody. I'm glad to see so many people on screen. I'm afraid I can't be with you in person because I've got to step out for another event at 6:30. But I'll be very interested to see how the evening goes. It's an exciting time at the beginning of a new cycle of People Power Places, and you've got some important work to do this evening. So I hope you all have a good time, and I'll be interested to see what ideas you come up with. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Whitworth. Really appreciate that. Okay, I'm now going to call forward our corporate leadership member, Darren, who serves as Director of Community Wealth Building at Neom Council. Darren is going to say a few words, please.
Thank you for that. Hi, everybody. I'm Darren. Just wanted to say thank you all for coming tonight. Just kind of echo what the councillor said, really. The council's People Power Places programme is one of its key programmes. You know, there's a really significant investment goes into it, but it's really brilliant to see so many people in the community coming forward to contribute and to help shape the ideas. I'm looking forward to taking part in some of the conversations tonight. Yeah, I just hope it's a really good night. And obviously, if you see me around and you want to ask me any questions or give me any ideas about anything, please do. I'm going to be here for the rest of the event, so I hope you enjoy it all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Darren. Really appreciate that. Okay, who has attended People Power Places before? Can you put your hand up, please? If it's your first time, okay, we've got a lot of new people. Welcome. That's brilliant. So I'll explain what People Power Places is. It's a Neom Council's participatory budgeting program, and it is one of the largest programs in the UK. And I take pride in saying it is one of the most successful ones as well. And we have 1.6 million of funding to give to residents and voluntary community and faith sector organizations, and also to young people. Money comes from developers called Neighbourhood Community Infrastructure Levy, and in short, NCIL. And we have been running since 2018. So some of you may be familiar with the term community assemblies, which changed to People Power Places a couple of years ago. And we have funded over 300 projects since 2018. In 2023-25 cycle, 114 projects were completed, and which reached over, as you can see from the figure, just under 55,000 residents. Isn't that brilliant, everybody? Yes. So how does this program work? So there are 8 neighborhoods in Neom, and we are one of them. Each of the 8 neighborhoods are allocated £200,000. Residents choose local priorities to shape the types of projects, and that is something we will be doing today. Residents, voluntary, faith, community sector, and young people can apply for the funding. Residents decide how funding is spent, and because they vote for the projects. So it is really transparent program, and everything is decided by the residents. That's you. Anyone who lives, works, or learns in community neighbourhood can take part. So if you live in Stratford, Stratford Olympic Park, or West Ham, any of the wards, you can vote on the project, you can participate in the program, and you can also apply for the funding. If you're running any projects within this area, please speak to us. So this is the cycle. The cycle is 2 years. Some of you, I think, attended the launch, which was on the 3rd of June. So the very first phase is choose local priorities online at your local library, community centre, and at an event near you. So that concluded on the 22nd of June. So but here we will have another opportunity today to vote for your local priorities, and we'll give you more information about that in a few minutes. So from July to September, you can apply for funding to bring your ideas to life. So there may be a lot of people here today who have got ideas and they want to apply for the funding, so that is the time. Attend support clinics to help with your applications. We will give you that information towards the end of the meeting. So the third phase is going to be vote for your top 10 projects, and that will make a difference to your neighborhood. And again, it's residents who vote for these. Residents who come from the 3 wards can vote for these. Then followed by deliver your projects to improve your local area. So once we know what successful projects there are, they will start the delivery from March 2026 and then conclude in February 2027. So then we'll celebrate our achievements and the changes we have made across Neom, and that'll be in March 2027.
Is it only residents can vote, or can people volunteer in
Yes, they can. They can. Yes, of course. So it's residents who are volunteering as well. So we include everybody. So changes, there are some changes because extensive evaluation took place over the last 2 years. We spoke to residents, we spoke to working group members, we spoke to project leads, we spoke to young people as well, and also services who were involved within this cycle. So because of that, we have ring-fenced the funding, which is really good news for residents because 25% of the funding, which is £50,000, is ring-fenced for resident-led projects, and resident can apply for a maximum of 5,000 per project. Then 25% is youth-led projects because we want our young people to benefit from it, and they have ideas, so they can apply for 10,000 per project. Again, it's 50,000 in total. Then 50% is for VCFS-led projects, and the maximum is 20,000 per project. So as you can see, yet youth-led project, they need to be delivered with an organization who can support them, and it can be a school, it can be a youth zones, youth club, or it can be any other group who is working with young people. So there were some further changes. So launching an alumni network to make this program really sustainable for people who have already been part of this program. They can support people who are new to this program, and creating a youth advisory board to make it more inclusive, accessible for young people. And also limiting project leads to receiving funding a maximum of 3 times. So those are the main changes. Okay, so each of the neighborhoods have got a working group. Working group are our residents and also some stakeholders as well. So they have gone through a process. They put an application forward. We went through the application. We have interviewed them, and now they're with us. And each neighborhood has got a maximum of 15 people as working group members. So I am not going to say much. I'm going to call Zamta forward, who is going, first of all, she'll introduce the working group members, and then Olu and Martina will give you more information. Over to you, please.
Thank you, Joycey. Hi, everyone. My name is Asomta, and I study here in Stratford. I am going to be introducing the working group members here this evening. So if you are a working group member, can you please wave? Can you stand up? Can you stand up, please?
Can we have a round of applause for our working group?
Let's give them a round of applause, please. Thank you all for your service. Right now, I'm going to be calling for Martina and Fulu for their presentation. Can you come forward, please? All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fulu Fabican, and I'm very happy to be on the people-powered places for Stratford and West Ham. I have to kindly say that I have lived in the borough presently for nearly 30 years. I used to live in Carpenter's Estate, so way before it became trendy, I lived here. So it is one of those things where I'm very passionate about where I live and all the things that occurs here. I am quite blessed in the sense where I have seen the benefits of this through two different projects. One, in Captain's Cafe on Carpenter's Estate, where we applied for computers and we got it. And so it's something where I've been able to see the benefits on that way, and also through the Healing Cafe at St. John's Church as well. So I've been able to see it from two different ends, and most of all, where you are just at the beginning part of it, but also I've seen the benefits at the other end. So it is something which is really beneficial. So while you can see here, just think like, oh, it's just voting for things, but trust me, the end is actually quite substantial, and it does affect lives in different ways. And because every little action counts in whatever way we can do. So it is the kind of thing when you're here and you're thinking about it, of voting, it is actually something where it does make a contribution and has an effect on our community that we live in. Because the thing about it is, The community is ours. We can always be passionate about where we live and what we do, but by being here and voting for these things, at least we continue to show that we are very much invested in what goes on. But that's the simple things I would say.
Thank you, Folu. What a great speech to follow. I actually came prepared. I will introduce myself quickly. My name is Martina. I've lived in Stratford for 17 years now. I'm also the mom of two beautiful teenage girls who both attend school in Stratford. So I am quite deeply connected and quite passionate about Stratford in general. So I'm really pleased to be here in this event. Joy asked me to speak a little bit about the role of the working group members. So as a member of the People Power Places working group, I have seen just how powerful it is when residents, councillors, council officers, and representatives from the voluntary and faith sector come together. And our role is actually quite hands-on on this program. So we help to from shortlisting the project proposals to monitoring the progress, offering feedback and promoting the work. And time to time, we are asked to speak in events like this as well. And the benefits of the People Power Places project is actually quite clear, and you will see that. They create an opportunities for people to get involved, to volunteer, to take action on the issues that matter to us most. I've actually joined the working group for the third time. And in previous funding rounds, I made a little break in the last cycle, but I was a working group member in 21 and 21 and 22, Jyoti. I witnessed some amazing projects come to life, and I would love briefly just to mention the two that had a huge impact improving our neighborhood, especially because some of you are participating for the first time. So the one project that really stood out to me was called Greener Together, and it was actually a resident-led project. They used the PPP funding and they transformed this really tired, neglected playground into a really joyful one. And they had new planting, updated equipment, and they made a very colorful community mural. So every time when I pass by now, I see so many children enjoying themselves, and not only children, but adults. The other day I passed by, there were 10 adults playing basketball, which was really great to see. But the impact was greater on this particular project simply because the community came together to deliver the project, and the neighbors got involved, they helped out, they got to know each other. So the sense of togetherness, and it was really heartwarming and truly inspiring. And I know I only have 3 minutes of fame here, Jyoti, but I really want to mention another one, which was What's the Point? Project called What's the Point? And it was about the knife crime prevention program that was delivered in schools here in Stratford. And it gave young people the opportunity to hear real life stories from people directly affected by the knife violence. So it included ex-gang members, and they also taught our children the first aid, which was very important. And I think it helped students to understand the real consequences of carrying a knife, and God forbid you. So I have no doubt that this project saved a couple of lives, and it opened up an important conversations at schools and in our homes. So these initiatives actually did more than just deliver outcomes. They built pride, connection, a sense of ownership, and they empowered individuals and brought neighbors together in a very meaningful way. And that's what tonight is all about: connecting, sharing ideas, and shaping the future of our community. So I encourage you to speak up, get involved, and bring your ideas forward, because your voice truly matters. So thank you, and I'm proud to be part of this journey, and I can't wait to see what we can build together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martina. Thank you for the, and I thank each and every one of the working group members, and some of them are facilitating on your tables. You're most welcome to have a chat with them. Before I move forward, I want to call forward Councillor Charlene McLean. She's our local councillor and she's our cabinet lead as well. Later. Okay, may I ask if Zara is here? Yes, Zara, if you please come forward. Yara is from our Youth Advisory Board. Can-
Thank you, Jyoti. Hi, everyone. How are you all?
Good, thank you.
Really glad to hear that. And I'm Zara Faruqi, and I'm a resident of Stratford. And I'm glad to be part of the amazing Youth Advisory Board. We had a last meeting last week, and we were just reviewing some like application forms for this PPP application. And honestly, it's such a rewarding experience to be like in this board and be with amazing 14 more individuals who share the same experiences and come together like every month and just like coming together and having this opportunity to connect with all the eight neighborhoods and all those representatives from each neighborhoods come along, share their experiences, and it's a 2-year program, so really looking forward to what we achieve in the next 2 years. It's something really new, so we're just part of being like making history. And um, yeah, that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely brilliant, Zara. And aren't we lucky there is a program where young people are coming forward? Thank you, Zara. Okay, we're going forward to do exercise 1 now, and I'll explain in a minute what is that going to be. So first of all, please, this is, if you look at this screen, so NUM's strategy for 2022 to 2026 is to build a fairer NUM. And this is summarized in a document which is called the corporate plan. You can find it on your website, you can go through it. But building a fair NUM has 8 priorities that the council focuses on. And 6 themes have been identified to decide on your local priorities. So the first one is healthy NUM and aging well. The second one is NUM's inclusive economy to support you in these hard times. Then your neighborhood, safer neighborhood, supporting our young people and people part NUM and widening participation. So if you go on to the next screen, please, you have got these cards on your tables, but based on 8 priorities, 16 which have been identified are here. And this is going to be the final opportunity for you to choose your local priorities. Some of you might have already voted, but please, if you haven't, we'll guide you on how to vote. And please be aware that we will be using menti.com. If you have got your smartphones, you can use menti.com. But first exercise is going to be discuss what is the priority for you, which one is the most important priority for you. And we're going to choose 3 top priorities, but this is individual ones. So first one is health and well-being. People in NUM have poorer health outcomes and population overall. This theme includes improving health and social care, tackling health inequalities, and responding to the cost of living crisis. Then inclusive economy, which is NUM's employment rate is lower than that of UK. This theme includes inclusive economic growth, improving quality of life for all, supporting local businesses, and creating accessible learning opportunities and job opportunities. Then it's environment and public spaces. Air pollution in Newham is worse than anywhere else in the London. I don't think that comes as a surprise. We have got Rumford Road, we have got 812, 813 around us as well. This theme includes making neighbourhoods quieter, safer, cleaner, and responding to the climate emergency. We have got a colleague from Climate Action in this room as well. So if there is going to be a discussion, she can come and support you. It also includes improved public spaces, including parks, community gardens, and green spaces, and cleaner environment, which we all want. Then is community safety. So there has been a substantial drop in proportion of people feeling safe in Newham. This theme includes improving women's safety, tackling the root of crime and antisocial behavior, raising awareness around hate crime and women's safety. It also includes building trust and accountability in community safety services, and we have colleagues from community safety in this room as well if you have any queries. But please be mindful that is going to be a really constructive discussion on tables. There may be some challenges which we can't address today. It's more about choosing our priorities. So youth empowerment, Newham has the second youngest age profile of any borough in London. Over 9 in 10 aged under 65. This theme includes enabling all children and young people who are the future to reach their potential, be safe, happy, and healthy regardless of their background. It also includes youth safety, activities for children and young people, school readiness, and high quality childcare. So the last one is community development and participation. Around a quarter of residents agree that they can influence decisions in their area. That is why we are all here today. This theme includes increasing people's involvement and sense of belonging to their local community, improving the sense of getting on well together, being satisfied with the and increasing participation. It includes topics like hearing, culture, interfaith, and intercultural dialogue. So these are the 6 priorities. So if you move on to next slide, please. So I can tell you that since 3rd of June, 327 residents have chosen local priorities for their area. And this has been online and in person. They have come to the libraries, they have gone to events, we have provided ample opportunities for everybody to come forward. Now you will have a chance to discuss the priorities with your neighbors and people on your table. They are your neighbors because they are from this area, and then vote for these. So this is your final opportunity to choose your local priorities. This will be added to our local priorities choices. So they will shape the type of projects that receive funding to meet the community's needs and goals. So we have got 15 minutes. Each and every one of you have got a facilitator on table. So you can discuss it on your table. May I please emphasize that everybody gets a chance to speak or discuss this. And then we will use menti.com to choose priorities. And menti.com, I'll explain after we finish this discussion. Thank you very much, everyone.
3 things is important. It might not be important for a lot of people, but we always believed in that. Inclusive economy. I personally believe that if we are if there is more high employment in the borough, those borough can develop further. So first priority was that, and then health and well-being is the second priority for us on behalf of Deaf Roots, and the community development and partnerships is the third priority we voted for. So this is from our table, and mostly we representing Deaf Roots.
Thank you very much, Sangeeta. Really appreciate that. I'm going to just go to maybe a couple more tables before I go online. Dan, are you able to give some feedback of the priorities on your table and what was important to your table? That'd be late.
Hi everyone, I'm Dan. We were talking about many of the things we want to do as a neighbourhood can be achieved when we come together and we unite together and raise our voices together. So we thought community development and participation was really important because it brings neighbourhoods together. We talked about youth empowerment being important and also health and well-being.
Thank you very much, Dan. Anybody on this table, please?
Hello, good evening. My name's Joy, and sorry. We had sort of three priorities: community development participation, environment, public spaces. But our main one that we all sort of agreed on was health and well-being. We decided to do that because the class that I actually joined is actually based in this library. I do it with Maddie and Emma, who have welcomed me into a community of wonderful people. I came to the class just to come and join the library, really, renew my membership. And I met this lady. I saw people dancing in here, and I thought, oh, wow, that's wonderful. What are they doing? So I thought, oh, who's in charge here? So I went to Maddie, who was then sort of just doing all the paperwork, and Emma does all the lovely dance moves. So I went to them and I said, oh, how do we join? How do I join? I was quite emotional. I wasn't really in a great space, mentally or physically at the time. However, I've improved enormously. Me even speaking on this mic without crying is great. They have been, and the people on my table here that I do dancing with on a Thursday afternoon, it's just amazing. It's changed my life. So I'd like to say thank you, and health and well-being for me is number one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, which table? On this table, very quickly, but later. Okay. I am coming to this table. We heard a lot of shouting on this table. We want to know why. So Pam, are you able to give us very quick?
Thank you, Joycey. Evening, everyone. So we run some of the sessions here. So we do the salsa here, and we do Zumba here on a Monday. And we have a wonderful group in our community that have come here this evening just to kind of talk about how impactful Newham, I have to say, is one of those few boroughs that really does invest in its people and provides these kind of activities where residents can come together, feel connected, and do something like dance that has had a massive impact on people's health and well-being and feeling connected and together. I mean, we ran and thank you for Maddie, if she's in the room. We partnered with Maddie, and we did a 12-week challenge just before the end of last year, which had amazing impacts on mainly ladies, because most of our group are ladies. But we had people, some of our ladies talking about how just doing that dancing for 12 weeks gave them the strength in their legs, so that would prevent them from falling. They gained strength in their arms. They lost weight, even if weight wasn't a weight, it wasn't a weight loss goal per se, but they had so many health benefits from taking part in an activity over that period of time. So, yeah.
Thank you, Pam. And I'm coming to the last table now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm convinced this is the best table, but I'm sure everybody would say that about their table. We have covered inclusive economy, health and well-being, and community safety. And everyone's really passionate about all of the areas, but those are the three that mainly stuck out for us. I wanted to say a little bit about inclusive economy because I'm very passionate about that with regard to financial literacy for the community in general, but particularly young people. And I believe that when you empower young people from a young age, they make better decisions and can be trained up to move into bigger careers and actually be able to survive in this world, because it can lead on to depression, and that affects our health and well-being as it is. So I think a lot of them are actually intertwined as well, but I'll stop there for time. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And now I think I'm going to, very quickly. Okay, we'll come back to you for ideas. If you can go online, please. Who would like to feedback, Anna, online?
Oh, I can feedback. We ended up having a few individual conversations, and it was a variety of priorities that came forward, from health and well-being, particularly around women, health awareness, healthy eating. Talked a lot about community safety, particularly around knife crime. Talked about creating opportunities for young people, so youth empowerment, inclusive economy, investing in education and digital skills. So yeah, a wide range of priorities were discussed.
Thank you very much, Anna. And thank you everybody for your feedback. I really feel sorry for Samuel. He's running there and then he's running back, connecting the system online. So are we ready? Okay. Are we ready in the room? Yes. We are ready online as well. So should we do a countdown? Who wants to start? 10. 9, 8, 7. A bit louder. 6, 5, 4.
Oh, that's it. Wait. Let's get it result. There we go. Sorry.
Okay. Oh my God. Health and well-being wins by miles. And then we have got community development and participation, nearly 250 votes for that, 350 plus for health and well-being. And the third one is community safety. Yeah, so it is health and well-being, community development and participation, and community safety. Please take a note of these priorities on your tables, because that will lead us to the next exercise. So we'll just give you a few seconds to note this down. Is it a surprise for anybody that health and well-being is the top priority? No.
Next slide.
Okay, are you ready for the next exercise now, please? So it is going to be our ideas. You're going to discuss project ideas on your table. So share any project ideas you may have. You don't need to have a project idea to be part of this conversation. There may be people on your table who know what project they want to run, or they may have a clear project idea. But also from your side, we want to hear from you. If a project is running, for example, against the 3 priorities, what would you expect from those projects? What your idea is as a resident be? And as a group, decide which 1 or 2 ideas you want to focus on, so which we can maybe come back to you for feedback. And also experts and neighbors to provide feedback to help develop your ideas. So we have got colleagues from other services on the tables. They're going to go around the tables and they will come and they will ask you if you're discussing, especially community safety, health and well-being. And we have colleagues online as well who have given us their time. So thank you to them. So these are the prompts. We are going to leave it on. So, and your colleagues on the tables or your working group member is going to help you. And we have got, it is about 7:15. So we will give you around 7:45 to discuss, and then we'll take very quick feedback from everybody. So your time starts now, everyone. So let's get really good ideas on these. And everyone, just one last thing. Please take a picture of your idea if you're putting it on the template. So the template's on there, and there is plain sheets of paper as well. Thank you. 3,
Thank you, everyone.
2, 1. May I have your attention, please? Thank you, everyone. That's really good. Okay. What we are going to do now, I'm sure each and every table has an idea. So can we just take just 1 minute, please? Because if we want to finish the meeting on time, just 1 minute per table. Tell us, what is your idea that you all agreed on? Why do you think it's a good idea and how it benefits everyone? Okay, on table 1 here, who is going to feedback?
Oh, my legs. Thank you very much. Under health and safety, we talked about, under health and well-being, we talked about social gatherings, like having crochet clubs. Yes, we talked about, can you all hear me, please? Oh, thank you. We talked about having free mindfulness consultations. We also talked about having a chaperone service for people that have anxiety. And under public safety, we talked about community cleanup day. We talked about having a kindness spot, like a listening bench on the streets. And someone from the borough would go there and maybe with a routine to see what's happening there, the kindness spot. We also talked about under health and under community safety. We talked about neighborhood watch. We talked about having safety orientation in schools. We talked about having safe reporting channels, anonymous channels for calls, for reporting crimes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we come to this table. Please introduce yourself and what your idea is. Hi everyone, my name is Ida, and our group, the first project that we chose is a SEND project for adults with learning difficulties and disabilities. One thing I think that you probably all agree on is back in 2020 we had dreaded COVID, and one of the impacts, the negative impacts of COVID, I say negative, I don't think there was any positive impacts, but one of the impacts of COVID was just how isolated everyone was and the impact that had on a lot of people's mental health. And unfortunately, one of the groups that did suffer were adults with learning difficulties and disabilities, because it meant that they were no longer coming to regular classes that they were attending. They were left pretty much on their own. Although we did our best over Zoom. Zoom's just, I won't go on about that. But anyway, so there is a gap there, unfortunately, where we need SEND classes. Unfortunately, so many of them have now been shut down. It's left a lot of our most vulnerable adults in society without the support that they were so used to. Having SEND students come together, especially as adults, because as children you've got the SEND, you've got the special schools, you've got colleges, but you get to an age where unfortunately there's very little out there for our SEND adults. When SEND adults come together, whether it's in formal classes, albeit, you know, music classes or dance classes, it has a massive impact on their health and their mental health especially. And I think that one of the things, unfortunately, as our population is aging, there is a big concern amongst parents and carers as to what will happen to their loved ones when they're no longer around. And the importance of developing independent living skills is really something that cannot be emphasized enough. So our project will look at how we can bring SEND adults together and set up, you know, various classes and workshops and bring them together and give them opportunities to develop those skills that will help enable them to live, you know, slightly more independent lives. Our second project was the farmers. Oh, okay, sorry. Thank you. Any idea on this table, please, very quickly?
Hi, I'm Nadia, and the group asked me to talk about my project idea. So I run a company called Sapphire Arts and Crafts CIC, and I'd really like to set up a community crafting group. And at the moment, I do a lot of arts and crafts projects that integrate walking and arts and crafts activities, and we take inspiration from our park walks, and we look at nature, and we look at architecture, and it's like brought so many benefits from the health and well-being side of things. And also a lot of people that I currently work with are women, and you know, I've done a lot of research on dementia and osteoporosis, and a lot of the things that I do, the fine motor skills and being in nature, vitamin D from the sun, like all of these things are highly beneficial, the walking. So there's something additional that I want to add and include in my groups, and this is what we've been trying to thrash out, because it's a really hard one to really fully understand like the impact, the scale of the impact. There are certain people that week after week I text and I call, are you going to come to the group today? Are you going to come to the group today? And this has been going on for many months. And every week they say yes. And I've not met a lot of these people. They don't ever come. So they've got doctor's appointments, they're a carer, they've got responsibilities, they're anxious. There's many, many reasons. So I really want to include some sort of outreach program where myself or future volunteers can go into people's homes and, for instance, match up skills that they want to learn. It could be hand embroidery, it could be sewing machine skills. For instance, I will go with my sewing machine for several weeks and teach them skills and then integrate them into a group setting where we can do that as a community.
Thank you very much. I think 1 minute is not working, but that means everybody has to stay back. So, on this table.
Hello, my name is Ben. I work for the Carpenters and Docklands Centre. One of our most important projects is a food bank. So I'm here with some volunteers from our food bank and the food bank manager, Max. So our thoughts were very much focused on that. In particular, we have a lot of parents of young children and babies come to our food bank, and we struggle to provide them with everything they need. So we came up with an idea based on a sort of food bank targeted at babies and young children. We would call this something like Baby Grow. And the idea would be to provide food, clothes and toys, information about children's development. We would offer a baby first aid course for the parents, advice about vaccinations and a vaccination service, some sort of support group for the parents so they can have some respite, maybe some sort of baby sensory group, talks on health, diet, appropriate books, and basically getting mums and dads who have got a bit of experience and had their own children to come in and volunteer and help support the new parents. I'm now going to hand over to Alexis because she had another idea, a very good one.
Hi, everybody. Hi, my name is Alexis Charles, and I'm from an organisation called Deep Boroughs Network. And basically, I just want to say a little bit about the food bank and how I'm going to connect with what I'm saying with the food bank. So the food bank provides, the food banks in Stratford, there are 2 food bank organisations here sitting right with me. They provide a lot of services for local people. So basically, it isn't just about going to the food bank to collect food. What we identified is that actually, people assume that when you go to the food bank, you're sort of, a rough sleeper, you're homeless. But actually, what we found is that there are people like nurses who work long hours, and basically the food bank is their lifesaver because, they don't get paid a lot of money. So the food bank provides a lot of service to a lot of people in the community, which a lot of people are not aware of. And some of the other services it provides are guidance towards, it can only guide towards mental health issues like signpost people, etc. So we talked about a lot about the services in the food bank, and I've visited the food bank myself quite a few times and had a conversation with a lot of people. So what I'm suggesting is that before you start developing a project, you first have to understand what the problem is. So the idea for this project is to identify, to capture the lived experiences of the people of Stratford, West Ham and the Olympic Park in terms of how health and well-being related to food and other things is an issue for them and what the barriers are. So we start off with the problem, and within that process of starting with the problem, we capture that through creative ways. So we don't intend to do a program, this is longer than a year, so it's within a year. We will capture the voices of the local people, Stratford, West Ham, and it's by people who live here, lived experience. What we found is that other organisations, other people who don't live in the area tend to come to the area and they do projects and they do things which do not relate or aren't part of what people in Stratford feel, or aren't part of what people in West Ham feel. So I think it's important to work with people from this area, and we plan to do that through our research. And by the end of that, if in 1 year we will produce something creative, a zine, some pictures to capture the stories of people. So that's what it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'm going to go across to the other table because somebody needs to leave. Okay, very quickly, Threem. I know you're going to take your minute only.
Hi everyone, my name's Tahreem. We are table number 24. I just made that up because we don't have a number. How are you going to know? Anyway, so 3 really, really important priority areas that we were talking about throughout. The first project that we discussed, which I thought was quite close to the hearts of the residents, is in line with the well-being and health and well-being one. So the first point was people need somewhere to go to have their health checks done. The queues are too long. There's not enough pharmacies facilitating this. If you want to have your oxygen level, your blood pressure, your diabetes, any of those checks done, you don't want to have to wait for a week or 2 for an appointment. So there's 2 elements to this. A, have more spaces where they can go that are open for longer. So that means training up the relevant people in the relevant equipment, and B, making them well aware of the services and equipment that's already available to them, which are things like free oximeters, free blood pressure check meters, free sugar, diabetes machines that are available to anyone that has got that diagnosed illness from their GP for free. And this is something that I found having the discussion here that not many people are aware of in this borough. So maybe an awareness project. The second one that's also in line with health and well-being is female hygiene. Although we talk about what's going on with us, given our age, there is a huge percentage, I think it's over 40 to 50% of young girls in the borough of Newham who don't have access to female hygiene products. Shops in Westfield, Superdrugs, Boots, when you go to them and ask them, what are these girls nicking? It's female hygiene products. For something as simple as a pad, something as simple as shampoo and body wash, they don't want food and chocolates and makeup and perfumes. They want female hygiene. And that is because they're on the period poverty line. Their families cannot afford it. And if you're teachers and you work in the education sector and you deal with young girls, you will see this day in, day out. When I used to work in a school, I worked in a school for 12 years, I would get young girls come to me in the mornings and say, Miss, I just started my period. But I knew she didn't. I knew she probably started a day or 2 ago, but she knew I was going to give her a couple of pads that are going to take her through another day or 2. So 2 very important areas that I feel like our table feels like that need addressing. There's so many more, but table 24 is running out of time, so I'm going to pass it back to Jyoti. Thank you.
Thank you, table 24. Guys, unfortunately, I don't have time to go to any other table because I need to take feedback. Let's all do together. Yeah. Okay. Anna, anything from online, please?
I'll just be really quick. We had one potential collaboration of a capoeira project for young people. We did have a huge discussion about loads and loads of different ideas, but a collaboration between 2 guests who were online was really exciting to see.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you. And thank you, each and every one of you, for your idea. And please, if facilitators can take a picture, or if you have put your idea on paper, please take a picture. I may keep the activity sheets here, so we can scan them and we can find out what ideas were there. So I'm going to very swiftly going to move on to Councillor Charlene McLean, our Cabinet Member for Resident Engagement and Resident Experience. I'm going to get into a lot of trouble, but I'm going to say that we want to thank Councillor McLean for her really strong support to this programme and it has been really crucial in securing another cycle of our program. Can we have a hand of? Yeah, she hates to be in the limelight. She has been here in person, but she said, I'll address everybody online. Over to you, Councillor McLean.
Brilliant, thank you, Jody. And yes, you saw me in the room, but of course we do things hybrid here in Newham. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to get home a bit earlier so I could put my daughter's dinner on. But it was so lovely to hear all of the ideas within the room. There was a real buzz, and it was great speaking to people. And Anne, I know you're there somewhere still. Just let you know that I'm not shy to speak. It just wasn't my time to speak at that point, and I'm speaking now. So I just wanted to, are we going to have the slides, Jody, about the next steps?
Just starting.
So the next step. So we've heard all of your ideas, and now it's your time to apply for funding. So the applications open on the 18th of July and close on Sunday, the 14th of September, which gives you plenty of time to get your thinking caps on and to get your project ideas in. We know obviously because of the summer holidays, people may be away, but yeah, there's lots of time there for you to do that. So people that may have applied before will know that it was quite an arduous process at times, but we have a new system called Plinth, which is really great and user friendly for you to make your applications on. Or you can do a video, or you could do it by audio, or you can just do a traditional Word document. But there will be support clinics again, as we did last cycle, to assist you in making your project ideas and your ideas to come into fruition. And the community neighbourhood teams, as always, Jyoti and her team, who are wonderful, will be there to also provide support if you need any extra bits of help. So why should you apply? Well, you all know why you should apply, because you're there. So you know you've made the first step. But there's lots of you. It's just brilliant. What can I say? It's just brilliant, and it will be an opportunity for you to meet with others. And as I heard online just as I joined, there were two groups that are thinking about collaboration. I know that in Forestgate neighbourhood meeting the other day, there was a group that was hoping to actually do a project in Stratford with a pet food bank. So I don't know if maybe the food banks might want to collaborate with those. And so yeah, it's an opportunity for you to develop your knowledge and skills, and yeah, to get people to buy into your projects. So online support clinics that I spoke about. So for VCFS projects, it's on the 22nd of July. On the 24th of July, it's for resident-led projects, and the youth-led projects will be on Wednesday, the 30th of July. And as I said earlier, I know that the Stratford neighbourhood team will be doing other ones. These are central projects, support clinics that are for people across Newham, but Stratford team will also be doing some. And yeah, there they are, Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, 11 till 1. That's a lot of time that they're giving to this. So thank you so much, Jyoti and the team. A round of applause for the Stratford team. They're doing a lot. So yeah, if you have your smartphones, take a screenshot of this slide so that you can have it to hand, so that if you need some help to put your applications in, then yeah, they're there to assist. And I think that's it for me. I don't think there's any more slides, but I just wanted to thank you all so much for coming. And don't forget your feedback, because it's really, really, really important that we have the feedback for everyone that's participated, just so that we know how we can improve things. Because every cycle we listen to people, and we learn, and we make it bigger and better. So please, please, please scan your QR codes there. There's some on the table probably. Those online, they can use their smartphones, or I'm sure Anna will also put a link in the chat for anyone that doesn't have a smartphone. But yeah, your feedback is really important. But thank you so much everyone for coming. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Such a diverse group of people. The deaf group was amazing. Kept me on my toes, and I look forward to going to visit them at Deaf Roots on Tuesdays from 11 till 2. Thank you so much. Have a safe journey home.
Thank you very much, Councillor McLean. Thank you everybody for coming online and in person. Just wanted to say there are survey questions. Please follow here which venue did you attend library, which library Stratford, type of event consultation, and type of consultation on community forum people powered places. And I just want to say well done to the team as well, especially Joanna, who did a lot of outreach to make this successful. Thank you to all colleagues. Thank you everyone for your support.